I'm going to be curate, assistant curate at this church here in St Michael's in Hull, and I'm looking forward to it very much. And I feel that at 63, any age, God can use you. You're not finished yet. So as a Christian, don't think that you can hang up your boots at retirement age. Put your feet up and do nothing. And even if you're in a position where you can't physically do something for the church, for your community, you can always pray. And prayer, as we know, unleashes power. And power through the Holy Spirit is what we all need today. Part of my faith journey has been that I've always been very close to nature and very close to justice and peace, and wanting to do the right thing for people and advocate for peace and justice. And that's all been mapped out, I suppose, in a way that I've helped with the persecuted church over the years, probably from the early 80s, that I've written to prisoners who were imprisoned for their faith in Russia when we had the Soviet Union, and followed that through by living and working in Romania, but also have had a big input into Bible smuggling many years ago, and continuing to support the suffering church. Part of my journey to ordination has been to work for peace and reconciliation. And I think I've mentioned previously that I've worked with the suffering church for many years. And part of that, when we went to Romania, was to work with other churches ecumenically and work for reconciliation between churches. As post-communism, there was a lot of mistrust. Most of this work was actually led by my husband, Steve, who was a vicar, and he worked very hard to get the churches to come together to help with social projects and to be able to help in the aftermath of the revolution in Romania. As a result of that, the work that was done between churches, and indeed later on between the Three Faiths Forum, which was the very small Muslim community, Jewish population and Christian population, Orthodox Christian population in Romania, we were awarded from Coventry Cathedral, the Centre for Reconciliation, a cross of nails. And many of you will know what the cross of nails means, but it certainly means a symbol of reconciliation and working together to do the best we can for communities and for churches working together of different denominations. So this cross of nails is actually situated in a small chapel in the town of Sibiu in Transylvania, Romania. So that led me to the Franciscans, the third order of the Society of St Francis, and the third order meaning that I live within my normal life, go about my normal day-to-day business, but under certain vows for the Franciscan order, and those are the similar kind of monastic vows that you follow in any sort of religious order, but they're not too unwieldy, and they're really just built around a rule of life which talks about prayer and penance and the Eucharist, doing good and study and all of those things, which as Christians we should be doing anyway. So as a professed member of the Third Order, I served for 5 years as their safeguarding officer for the European province, and this was challenging, very challenging, because within Christian circles, as we well know, safeguarding is something that we don't get right, haven't got right, but are gradually getting better at it, and we should be using that. We should be doing that as a priority. And I'm also the safeguarding officer for this parish here. So that's a little bit about my faith journey.